The 2006 Chargers had their playoff run end against these Patriots in the divisional round despite a 14-2 regular season in 2006. To kick off Week 5 of the DSFL 2020, the Chargers would visit the Patriots in what is an absolute beatdown in Foxborough. A humiliating performance for the Chargers. Brady finds Moss for their second touchdown connection to the year. Then Brady, who was 17 of 18 with 2 touchdown throws, scores late in the half with Welker. Kevin Falk rumbles in from 19 yards away. Then Randall Gay returns a Phillip Rivers interception 32 yards for what is a knockout punch for the Patriots. New England and San Diego will play these two teams next week. It's the Colts and the Jets from MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The New York Jets, both teams are winless, but it's the Jets that have an absolutely horrendous offense this season, and that was on full display against the Colts. That defense, Indianapolis's, is bottom 10 in the league as well. Sanchez incomplete on 1 4th down and on a 2nd 4th down. Those Jets numbers, last in yards, last in first downs, have hampered any chances for the Jets of winning a game this year. The Colts will play the Chargers next week. Meanwhile, from Jacksonville, the Jaguars hold Pittsburgh to 130 yards for the game. Roethlisberger 97 yards himself, and the Jaguars improved to 4-1 with a shutout victory over Pittsburgh. Leonard Fournette is 5th in the DSFL in rushing this season. 3-1 Falcons play host to the 2-2 Panthers. Quarterback Cam Newton was a Pro Bowler in 2015, but hasn't played like it most of this year. But that would change in today's game at Atlanta against the struggling Falcons defense. Cam Newton kicks off the game with a 25-yard burst, and that sets up this Panthers go-ahead scoring drive. 2nd and 5 throw to Corey Brown is good for a Panther touchdown. Carolina's Corey Brown reels in his first touchdown of the year. Newton may have the fewest amount of passing attempts in the DSFL, but this huge strike sets up a 12-yard scoring run from Cam Newton, and the Panthers enjoy a comfortable 2-touchdown lead early in the 3rd quarter. Matt Ryan does orchestrate a scoring drive. That's Mohamed Sanu in the back line for his 2nd touchdown of the year, but Greg Olsen would be critical with nearly 100 yards receiving in this game. He leads the Panthers in receiving yards. Deion Jones commits this face mask penalty here in the 4th quarter, which sets up a Cam Newton to Jericho Cotchery touchdown connection. Newton accounts for over 200 yards in the game with 3 TDs and drops the Falcons to 3-2. Carolina improves to 3-2. 2-2 Giants and the 2-2 Saints meet in the Week 5 DSFL 2020 Game of the Week from MetLife Stadium. Brandon Jacobs, the 3-year tailback from Southern Illinois, would have the greatest single-game performance in terms of rush yards that he would have in any game in his illustrious career for the Giants. He rips off this 75-yard highlight reel touchdown run for New York, and he wasn't done there. Here's a 54-yard dazzling carry as he breaks tackles from just about the entire Saints defense. Late in the first half, Drew Brees gets crushed but finds Pierre Thomas for a 39-yard gain. And the other running back, the youngster from USC, would cap it off with this touchdown catch. And at the half, the Giants and the Saints would be tied at 14. Giants quarterback Eli Manning, he was really buried in terms of the storylines in this game, but he played well. But hands off to Derek Ward after a good start to the drive, and he's off for a 57-yard touchdown. The Giants, they have a field day against the worst defense in terms of yards in the DSFL 2020. That's the Saints. This huge catch for the Saints sets up a Devery Henderson touchdown. He is top 4 in the DSFL in catches, yards, and touchdowns, now with 3 of them. After a Giants field goal, New York leads by 3 in the 4th quarter. Jeremy Shockey, who also played for the 09 Saints, reels in this corner routes. 1st and 10 Giants, fresh off his 3rd catch of the game. But on 3rd and 3 with the run game playing well, Manning fakes the handoff and fires into the grass. It's incomplete. Giants settle for yet another field goal, leaving the Saints just under 2 minutes to go with 2 timeouts for Sean Payton. Jeremy Shockey would reel in back-to-back face mask penalties against the Giants, and that would certainly assist Drew Brees, who has orchestrated 50 game-winning drives in his illustrious career with the Saints, and 4 of those was in 2009 after a Colston catch here on 2nd and 1. Brees dumps it to Devery Henderson, who spins away from Dockery and dives in for the go-ahead touchdown. 4 touchdown throws from Drew Brees, 2 of them to that man, the veteran from LSU, Devery Henderson. Giants are down to their last-ditch effort, barring a penalty. The final play of the game, Manning is incomplete, and the Saints have stunned the Giants. New Orleans is 3-1 on the road, 3-2 overall against the Giants, who have dropped 3 in a row now with a 28-27 thriller. AFC West matchup between the Raiders and the Broncos. Quietly, Oakland has been one of the best offenses in the entire Dream Season Football League. They are 4th in yards and 6th in passing. Rich Gannon throws his 5th touchdown of the year on a crossing pattern to Tim Brown. Oakland scores first here in Northern California. Then Charlie Garner, his best performance of the year. He carries the ball for nearly 100 yards, does the veteran from Tennessee. And that sets up the final first half play. Sebastian Janikowski field goal to lift the Raiders in front by 10. Toss to Noshawn Moreno, and the veteran from Georgia slips 3 Raider tackles and makes this a game again. After a Janikowski field goal in the 4th, our score is 16-10. Last-ditch effort, it's 4th and 10 for the Broncos. Manning finds Eric Decker for a huge gain of 17, but on the very next play, this really epitomizes the entire year for Denver. Ball jarred loose and recovered by Rod Woodson of the Raiders, and Oakland has won their 2nd game in a row. Just the 2nd takeaway of the season preserves a 16-10 Oakland win. Meanwhile, the Broncos, in a horrendous year, have fallen to 0-5. 4-0 Seahawks play host to the Eagles, who won just their 1st game of the year last week. And Philadelphia has yet to win a road game this season, but they look poised early. In the Pacific Northwest, the Zach Ertz breaks 2 tackles and scores on a 67-yard go-ahead touchdown. Eagles up 7-0 midway through the first quarter. Then Wilson off play action. His pass is deflected and intercepted by Malcolm Jenkins. That's his 2nd pick of the year. The Eagles cash in with that drive with a Corey Clement touchdown. In the 2nd quarter, Carson Wentz throws into traffic. Ill-advised throw is intercepted by Earl Thomas, and the safety from Texas brings it back 77 yards for a Seahawks score. The stagnant Seattle offense was down to their final few seconds of the game, and Russell Wilson does dial up a deep ball to convert a 3rd and 14, but on the very next play, Timmy Jernigan sacks Russell Wilson. And for a Seahawk offense which led the league in points, they put up 0 in their loss to the Eagles. Philadelphia, despite a Seahawk defense that has been great, they win their 2nd game of the year. Well, the 2006 Bears are in the midst of a brutal year out of the NFC. Rex Grossman is intercepted for the 3rd time this year. Lennon Fletcher brings it back 75 yards for a touchdown, and the Bears have fallen to 0-5. Rams are 2-3. At the midway checkpoint of the DSFL 2020 season, the Chiefs' defense has been very impressive. Top 5 in the league in points per game allowed, and they only yield 3 against the Ravens. This Sammy Watkins touchdown catch would be the difference in a 13-3 victory for Kansas City. The Chiefs will remain unbeaten this year. Dilfer throws for a paltry 33 yards in the home loss to Kansas City. As we look at the AFC playoff picture, the Chiefs and the Patriots are both number 1 in the conference. Meanwhile, from Green Bay, Wisconsin, the Buccaneers tangled the Packers in what was an incredible football game. Keyshawn Johnson begins the scoring with a Tampa Bay touchdown in the red zone. Then Brett Swain of the Packers scores on his first catch of the entire season. And at the half, we are tied at 7. Michael Pittman reels in this throw from Brad Johnson off a missed tackle from Desmond Bishop, who would earn Defensive and Special Teams Player of the Week awards out of the DSFL 2020. This results in a Grammatica field goal. That's his first miss of the season, which gives Green Bay a chance to win the game. Would they do it? Off play action, Rodgers fires to James Jones, and he would be gone. The Tampa Bay defense gives up a huge score on what has been a pretty tough year for them. The Packers stun the Buccaneers and now are tied for the number 1 seed in the NFC. Tampa Bay is nestled at 3 with 3 other clubs at 3-2 this season. Midseason Awards features 2 great players, Drew Brees on offense and Bobby Wagner on defense. Here are the Player of the Week awards out of the DSFL 2020 Week 5. Tom Brady was stellar in a win over the Chargers, and Drew Brees throws 4 touchdowns in a comeback victory at the New York Giants. Week 6 will be next weekend. Packers visit the Giants in a marquee game out of the NFC, and the Steelers will visit the unbeaten Chiefs. This is Charge Dude 95.